Welcome to the Midday News. We are live from Joy 99.7 FM in Accra, Love 99.5 in Kumasi, and affiliates across Ghana, including Jubilee Radio, Keta, A1 Radio, Radio Wa in Wa, Radio Max Takrade. Download the My Joy Online app from the Play Store and App Store to listen live on the internet. Coming up, as the death toll on road accidents from January to April this year hits 1,034, Road Safety Authority reviews 100 road safety inspectors have been hired to ensure compliance with road safety rules. We have details. Meanwhile, Speaker of Parliament declares support for Joy News campaign on road safety, promising to get MPs to formulate policies to deal with crashes on our roads.
So I had about 3 near-fatal accidents, but survived them just because I obeyed one of the guiding rules of a passenger.
We'll bring you details as Joy News presents copies of road safety documentary Crushed to him. Also in this package, governing NPP defends its track record in improving living conditions of Ghanaians, insisting present challenges that have sparked the Fix the Country protest on social media will be addressed.
The Akufo-Addo government has on no occasion turned its back towards fixing the problems of our nation.
We have details as campaigners prepare to meet with security heads over planned demonstration. And in sports,
the Ghana Athletics Association says Josephine Anoche's absence at the World Relays was selfishly motivated. We have the GAA's full response later.
Also, leadership of the Electoral Commission says it had no hand in violence that marred collation process at Techiman South during the 2020 polls.
Nobody controlled what happened at Techiman South from the head office. No one. We were mainly interested in the presidential, because the lines of authority when it comes to parliamentary election, presidential, they are very clear.
Thanks for your company. We are home of independent, fearless and credible journalism.
Safe driving saves lives. Drive safe.
I'm Benes Abubeidulan, and today we start on issues relating to road safety. The National Road Safety Authority has revealed 100 road safety inspectors have been hired to ensure compliance with road safety rules. It comes as latest statistics from the authority shows 263 people lost their lives in road crashes in the month of April alone, and 1,034 since January. Well, the authority at a meeting in Accra today explained hiring the safety inspectors is part of a comprehensive strategy to reduce road crashes. My colleague Mamiesi Nyamite Thompson was at that event and joins us on the line with more. So, Mamiesi, first of all, who is paying for these inspectors for the work they'll be doing?
So, Benes, the National Road Safety Authority tells us that they will be hiring over 100 inspectors to be able to ensure that people who are working on road safety infrastructure are compliant with road safety protocols. These inspectors will have the mandate to be able to, detain or even seize work on infrastructure that do not comply with road safety protocols. These people could either detain the offenders who are not complying with rules and regulations, Benes.
And Mamiesi, what else will their work entail?
So for now, this is what we know. We know that they are also working on legal instruments that will give them backing to be able to ensure that these road inspectors are able to, execute their work and ensure that road crashes are reduced. And so for now, we do not know the extra responsibilities that they have, but we know that they will be empowered to be able to inspect road infrastructure work and ensure that there are no lapses in safety protocols that they are supposed to be adhering to. And so when we get more explanation on what they are supposed to be doing, we would be bringing that to our listeners.
Amiesi, at this program, was the issue in terms of the statistics we have on road safety addressed?
Indeed, yes. The Road Safety Authority is indicating that the road crashes in Ghana is headed, it's highest in the Greater Accra region. But then, in explaining what is happening, he also explained that it is caused by driver indiscipline as well as institutional indiscipline. And so he mentioned institutions like the MPPD, the ambulance service, as well as the MPPD, who are not ensuring that drivers comply with the road rules. So, for instance, if a driver has overloaded and is on the road, sometimes these drivers are allowed to go or maybe drive their way through rules so that they are not, stopped by officials who are supposed to ensure that these people do not use the road in that condition. Or maybe the drivers have drunk alcohol and they are not stopped on the road. So these things often happen in the Greater Accra region, and that is what the National Road Safety Authority is indicating, that they are going to ensure that these things are reduced by the inspectors that they are, introducing on the road to check some of these things that are happening.
Mamie Singamita Thompson there. Let's now hear from Head of Regulatory Inspectorate and Compliance at the Road Safety Authority, Kwame Kodua Etuahene.
It's either the offending institution is receiving a corrective notice or a prohibitive notice. So you are receiving a notice to go and correct what has been found to be a lapse, or you are being asked to stop the offending activity. This is a role that we are happy to share with the assemblies. So in the draft, as you have seen, we said that for some part of it, the authority may designate inspectors. So for the assemblies, we may grant some authorization for either the transport department or some skilled persons to assist with the inspections on matters that are within your purview, except that you will not be required to issue prohibitive notices. But working with our regions and our offices, we can issue corrective notices. That we have not done this right. We'll come to that. Maybe the transport occasions, issues of terminal and routes.
That was Head of Regulatory Inspectorate and Compliance at the National Road Safety Authority, Kwame Kodua Etuahene. Well, we learned that there's a legislative instrument to back the action of these inspectors being worked on. We'll bring you details on that in subsequent bulletins. Now, the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Gbagban, says he will get the House to formulate proposals to holistically deal with road crashes in Ghana. He said this when a delegation from Joy News presented a copy of our latest Hotline documentary, Crashed, to him. The documentary by Seth Kwame Boateng chronicles horrific stories of road accident victims and the people living with the pain of road crashes. Paka Wilson reports.
A senior editor of Joy News, Fifi Compson, paid a courtesy call on the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Gbagban, to officially hand over copies of our Hotline documentary. The documentary, written and produced by Joy News Seth Kwame Boateng, revealed how innocent Ghanaians lose their lives through road accidents daily. Here is senior editor Fifi Compson impressing upon the Speaker to add his voice to the campaign to end road accidents.
We thought that it's necessary, it's imperative that once we put together this documentary and we broadcast it out there for the entire nation to see it, we also have to appeal to those at the high echelons of power, the important places in our society, to add their voices to this call to action to end the carnage on our roads. So today, we are very much excited because we have had the opportunity to speak to the man occupying the number 3 position in this nation, the Right Honorable Speaker. It's the reason we are here to present copies of this documentary to you, so you also have a look at it and possibly add your voice to this call to action to end the situation on our roads.
The Speaker first pleaded with the team to ensure constant broadcast of the documentary to spur people on to find solutions to this canker. Mr. Gbagban shared his own story about road crashes and how his seatbelt saved his life.
Members of Parliament are always on the move. And so I had about 3 near-fatal accidents but survived them just because I obeyed one of the guiding rules of a passenger, putting on the passenger belt. Because on the 3 occasions, even though I was using Land Cruisers, none of them could be recovered. But I came out unhurt because the belt held me to the seat.
The Speaker, who also attributed the increase in road accidents to attitude of drivers, also vowed to ensure Parliament formulates a policy to deal with the canker.
As a country, we need to take a very serious view of it. Personally, what you think I can do to support it, I will do. And I will also want to get an opportunity for the House to at least take some action, not just through our committees, but dedicate a day to discuss it thoroughly and maybe come out with some proposals for government to implement.
He believes the judiciary must review the sanction regimes for road offenders. For Joy News, I am Kwesi Parker Wilson.
Let's stay on the roads because until a year ago, the Hacho-Agbogba stretch was a traffic-free route which provided an alternative for residents of Pantang, Oyarifa, Old Ashomang and Agbogba who wanted to avoid the main highway to the central business district of Accra. But the situation is no longer the same as motorists now endure traffic hours on end due to a contractor's decision not to return a 10-meter part of the road to its original state after cutting through to expand a bridge on the stretch. As my colleague Elton Brobe reports, aside from causing enormous traffic during rush hour, the area has also become an accident hotspot.
It's the morning rush hour here on the Agboba Hachu Road. This road stretches all the way to Pantan, Abokobi, and it's a very busy road. And for those who live on this particular stretch, especially I'm talking about Abokobi, I'm talking about Pantan, I'm talking about Oyarifa, this particular stretch, constructed some 10 years ago, has always provided a shortcut all the way to the central business district. If you want to avoid the traffic on the Medina Road, this is your best shot. But in the last 1 year, this road has become a major traffic prone. The reason is very simple. A year ago, government decided to award a contract for the expansion of this particular bridge. This bridge had experienced a lot of flooding. The bridge has been expanded. It is now able to take in so much water, addressing the flooding situation in this particular area. In the expansion of the bridge, the contractor decided to cut through this asphalted or bitumen road, which is about just 10 meters. It's been 8 months since work came to an end on the expansion of the bridge. But the effect of the construction is what we are seeing here. Every morning for productive hours, many of it is lost through vehicular traffic on this road.
Horrible. Every morning we would have to be in traffic for more than 30 minutes before crossing this path. Every morning. Why? Just this small thing over here that needs to be fixed. I mean, it's been here for almost about, and we don't understand them. What are our leaders doing to us? Yes, yesterday I was traveling from Navrongo. When I got here, I forgot. I nearly had an accident here. And this is reducing productivity, is reducing, wasting people. I mean, it's terrible. Eventually, it's going to deteriorate the entire road.
We are suffering very, it's too bad. Okay, it's too bad. We need the help, please. 1 hour or 2 hours. I won't lie to you. From, Agbogba, let me say, Cemetery Junction, coming here.
And the traffic is too much. Sometimes you use about 2 hours before going to office, and which is bad. So I believe with this interview, I think the authority will take note of it. And
That was Elton Brobe with that report. Away from road issues, the governing MPP has defended its track record on improving the living conditions of Ghanaians. National organizer Samia Wuku says many challenges in the education, health and infrastructure sectors of the economy have been fixed since President Akufo-Addo took office in 2017. Now, this comes in the wake of social media protests under the hashtag Fix the Country, urging government to address the cost of living, among others. The protesters have served notice of going ahead with a street march on May 9, despite a caution from the Ghana Police Service that there are restrictions on public gatherings. Mausi Oliver Baka-Vomavol is convener of the group.
that the system do not want you to speak up. They do not want you to hold them to account. They would rather you come up and vote for them, silly you, and go back to bed.
Yeah, so as we stand now, you're going ahead with the protest on May 9th.
Well, as we stand now, we know of no law that prohibits us from doing so. Like I said, the Inspector General of Police has reached out to us. Our hope is that since the police have a duty and the law to provide us protection when we go on the march, we are going to be dialoguing on the logistics and modalities for that march. And so we are very welcoming of the initiative to speak to us, and we look forward to having a great conversation with the Inspector General, who we are going to formally invite to join the protest.
Now, national organizer of the governing MPP, Sammy Ewuku, says the government remains committed to improving the living conditions of Ghanaians and has been doing so in the last 4 years. He spoke on Ekosi, saying on our sister station, Asempa FM.
When people say, let's speak truth to power, that and it's about time the Akufo-Addo government is sorry to fix the problems of the nation, I think that's an unfair comment. Why? Because the Akufo-Addo government has on no occasion turned its back towards fixing the problems of our nation.
Yeah, but the pace.
Look, the NPP administration has done a lot for Ghana in the area of infrastructure, in the area of health, in the area of education, in the area of agro-processing and agriculture, and in all sectors. I don't think it's also a fair assessment when Yamane yet to say the government of President Akufo-Addo is doing nothing about our situation. First, I be a parent. Minibi mwantafo mienu. Sena nka me mabeko school kra na nka mintumi. Aban we ada Roma nyanka aban. Wa men no de sa free SHS aba. Sa pressure no ekofom. Baby na bia na me fie kwan so me fa ko ne enye kwan no. Te na ka fix our road. I have seen it being fixed. Ebia kamini ade no ayen. Gradually no, we are fixing the country. Rome will not be built in a day. The government sympathizes and empathizes with every Ghanaian at this point in our lives. And yet just in Ghana and across the world.
That was national organizer of the governing MPP, Sammy Ewuku. The Electoral Commission says it had no hand in violence that marked the collation process at the Techiman South during the 2020 polls. The incident resulted in death of some voters. The commission was in December 2020 accused by the opposition National Democratic Congress of supervising a collation process that saw its parliamentary candidate robbed of victory in a quest to secure an NPP parliamentary majority. In a yet-to-be-aired interview on the probe, Deputy Chairman of the Commission in charge of Corporate Services, Dr. Eric Bosman-Asare, told MFR Pau that such allegations are without merit. He argues the National Office had no hand in what transpired there.
I know in your line of work, people have accused you of several things. There are many things they accuse which we don't even know anything about. Some of the things we even hear them from you. So no one, and I can. This is something I can completely vouch for. Nobody controlled what happened at Techiman South from the head office. No one. We were mainly interested in the presidential, because the lines of authority when it comes to parliamentary election, presidential, they are very clear. When you look at the CI 127, they are very clearly stated, and the parties know about that.
So who ordered the officer there in charge at the Techiman South offices not to give the pink sheets, for instance, to the NDC, the entourage that went there that day for a copy of the pink sheet? Are you aware of it? Because we're told that he says that he has been ordered not to. In fact, your offices were shut after the elections for a period of time because they wanted it.
I think maybe we are talking about a video that went viral.
And
the person in that video happens to be the returning officer. And when you look at the law, the CI 127, as I just mentioned, the parliamentary elections in that area, the buck stops with that particular constituency.
Okay.
So that person probably will say that to imply that, oh, maybe another person, but we understand they said there was collation, no collation, etc. That's why these matters are before a high court.
You heard the Deputy Chairman of the EC in charge of Corporate Services, Dr. Eric Bosman-Asare, speaking to host of the probe, Emefa Apau. Now it's time for Tech Thursday, and still on elections, ballot boxes play a crucial role in all polls, and due to the competitive nature of elections, they are placed in the open during the voting exercise. However, tallying the number of votes and comparing the results with all other political party agents in the EC sometimes brings chaos and confusion, especially when they don't march. Fortunately, students of Obuasi Senior High Technical School have come up with a smart ballot box to do away with that difficulty. Now, the firm's Chrissy Deborah has been speaking with them.
The smart ballot box has 2 compartments. The part that takes the paper from the voter and the box itself. The paper compartment has a paper roller made with some PVC pipes, a gear motor and a sensor to detect the voter's closeness to the box. The paper compartment is adjusted to take 1 paper at a time. This is done to avoid multiple voting. When the voter is about 40 centimeters to the ballot box, the paper compartment is activated to allow the voter to cast his ballot. A red light is shown to alert the voter that the system is ready. When the voter places the paper on the space provided, the system will automatically take the paper from the voter and drop it into the box and count it as 1 and display the number on the screen for public viewing. Subsequent votes will be counted and total votes displayed on the screen.
The components used are Arduino ultrasonic sensor, relay, PVC pipes, screen which is LCD, and LED which is light.
When a person gets closer to the ballot box, the system becomes active and a red light is shown that the system is active. When a person drops the ballot paper into the slot, the system gets the ballot paper into the ballot box and counts it as 1 and display it on the screen.
Reporting for Joy News, Emmanuel Kwesi Deborah.
And that was our Tech Thursday. You're listening to the Midday News here on Joy 99.7 FM with me, Benis Abubeidulansa. Still to come, Presec Legon at Chimota School, Chemu SHS and Adogono Senior High School battle for the bragging rights as Greater Accra Regional Science and Maths champions.
There are no any schools to compete with. Oh, we are winning the final.
I mean, if you have followed Presec, usually first contest, we knew we'd take it.
And later, Ghanaian Afrobeats musician can promise inks a deal with 5K Records and Sony Music UK.
Big shouts to the new family, my new family at Sony, 5K Records, everybody.
We've got details later on Showbiz. Do stay.
This bulletin is live in the Volta region on Jubilee Radio Keta, Volta Premier and Kekali Radio in Ho, Lolonyo FM in Hohoi, Pando FM in Pando, Fafa Radio in Joje, Radio Hogba in Angloga, Klenam Radio Bato, Victory FM Aplao. In the Eastern region, we're on K-Poly Radio in Kofrodia. In the Northern region, we're on Bishara Radio, Radio 123 and Radio Justice in Tamale. And in Savannah region, we're on Inkelege FM in Bole. In the Upper East region, we're live on A1 Radio and Dreams FM in Bogatanga and Radio Fumbese in Fumbese. In Upper West, we're live on Radio Sonmale in Wa, Radio Freed in Nandom, Radio Wa in Wa, and Bolu FM in Bolu. In the Bono East region, we're on Gaskia FM in Techiman. In Bono region, we're on Sky FM and Parrot FM in Sunyai. Central region, we're live on ATL FM in Cape Coast. And in the Western region, we're on Radio Max in Takrady.
Thank you for staying here on the Midday News. It's now time for sports.
Yes, Benis, and the Ghana Athletics Association has rejected claims that they asked sprinter Josephine Anoche to finance her trip to the World Relays in Poland. Anoche had alleged that she exempted herself from Ghana's relay team for the Olympic qualifiers because she was asked to pay for her own flight ticket. Chief Executive Officer of GAA, Bao Fuseni, says her claims are untrue.
It's never true that GAA asked her to buy tickets from US to Poland. It never happened, and it will never happen. We had 14-man contingent, and tickets were issued by Sports Authority for all this contingent. No one was left behind. At first, when we contacted her, her first concern was that her Ghanaian passport got expired, and she had sent the passport to the Washington, D.C. for an extension of 1 year. When she got the passport, she never even told her that she had gotten the passport, but we knew the passport got her. A day or two later, she sent a text message to Prof. Andrew that she wanted to qualify to the Olympic Games as an individual athlete.
Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Athletics Association. But Bennett, before I leave, CAF has decided to postpone the World Cup qualifiers from June to September. This means that the Black Stars fixtures against Ethiopia and South Africa in June will not come off. That's your spot.
Thank you, Mubarak Haruna, there with sports. To around the country now, let's first hear from President of the National House of Chiefs, who's been speaking in the Western North region.
Ojahoya Ojebi II has hit back at critics who have described government decision to destroy equipment used for galamsey as illegal. He made a call when the CEO of the Forestry Commission, John Alote, paid a courtesy call on him at his palace.
We must unite to fight this galamsey canker. I don't agree with those criticizing the government for burning the seas excavators. Seeing excavators leave the forest is a sign that the fight against illegal mining is on course. Government must intensify the fight.
That's President of the National House of Chiefs, Ojiahoho Yaojibi. Joseph, let's go to the Ashanti region now and talk about some concerns of small-scale miners in the Amansia West District.
They are vowed to expose any recalcitrant miner who goes against government's directives on illegal mining across the country.
We will meet again and set up a task force to deal with the indisciplined miners. Even right now, we will make sure those who go against the directive are dealt with. As chiefs, we will also ensure government succeeds in this business. If the government permits someone to mine in our jurisdictions, we will monitor and make sure they conduct themselves well.
Now, Joseph, let's head to the Volta region. What is the Home Magistrate Court been saying about Anthony Dodoe, the suspect in the murder of a 25-year-old lady there?
For the second time, he has been remanded into police custody. This was after the prosecutor pleaded for more time to carry out investigations.
And that will be it for this edition of Around the Country. Those are sounds of thunderous applause at the Accra College of Education as contestants of Presec Legon, Achimota School, Chemu SHS and Odogono SHS walked the stage for the grand finale of the Greater Accra Region Science and Maths Quiz Championship. Achimota School won the maiden edition and Presec Legon won the regional championship in 2021 and was subsequently crowned national champions. And we are seeing live visuals there. If you join us on Joy News on TV, my colleague Maxwell Agbagba is interacting with some Presec Legon students. Apologies, we can't bring you that now, but we'll be bringing you more of that in subsequent bulletins on the National Science and Maths Quiz regional competitions. It's now time for Showbiz with Mapitso Sibidi.
Well, Bernice, King Promise has signed to 5K Records and Sony Music UK. And Sony Music is the home of stars such as Chris Brown, Davido, Usher, and many more. So there's a joint venture with Sony Music Entertainment and 5K Records, which aims to develop new and existing talents from the UK and all over the world into future global stars. It's exciting for Ghanaians because that means the Ghana sound will go global and reach a wider audience. King Promise announced this deal in an Instagram post.
And yo, big shouts to the new family, my new family at Sony, 5K Records, everybody. Shouts to the team, Legacy Entertainment. We're gonna have a good time with this. I love you guys. Your working promise.
And trending on Twitter is still hashtag Fix the Country Ghana and also Fix Ghana. Now, Efiodo is also trending and hashtag employment is trending on Twitter. Bernice.
And talk about what's trending. I know that very soon all students of Presec Legon will get onto Twitter because they are the first school to defend the Greater Accra Championship after beating Achimota School. There's more on the National Science and Maths Quiz here on the Joy News channel on radio and on TV as well. But that'll be it for this edition of the Midday News on Joy 99.7 FM with me, Bernice Abubedu Lansa. There's more news when you log on to my myjoyonline.com. But do stay with us. Coming up next after this is Dr. Mensa Otable with Living Word.
Hello, please, am I speaking to Miss Joanna Kuma?
Yes, please.
My name is Philip and I'm calling from MTN. Someone has just sent you money and we will need you to enter your PIN number so that we can put the money in your account.
Hey,
oh dada, MTN will never ask you for your PIN. Never reveal your PIN to anyone under any circumstances. And if you are not sure, always check the number. MTN will only call you with a dedicated number 0244 300